Hi, I am Kit Cassingham, founder of and Chief Energizing Officer at Live in Focused Energy. We are going to talk about moving more today. So when I say move more, what does that mean to you? Does it mean exercise? Does it mean walking? Yoga? Does it mean tapping your foot while you're sitting at your desk? Well, all of those are moving, but that's not what I have in mind. And I'm going to interrupt myself here to say, I told you that I'm going to be here for you. As I was going to start my stream, a page came out. So when I'm done here, I'll be going off on an ambulance call. Started the morning with one, might as well end the day with one. And today I have done a bit of movement. I don't have as many steps in as I would like, but I've ridden my stationary bicycle. I've gotten a few steps in. I did my core strength building, all 5 movements today. So I am trying to practice what I preach and hope to give you a different take on this. So back to the question of what does move more mean? Is it exercise? Is it daily? Weekly? Is it cardio? Yoga? I was joking when I said tapping my foot, but tapping your foot, but I do know people who do a lot of moving that way. Maybe movement means CrossFit, racquetball, swimming, golf, baseball, bowling. That all counts as movement. It's the frequency that I'm referring to today. I believe that your movement needs to be frequent and it needs to be fun. You know, when you're walking down the street, don't just walk. Step off into the grass or the dirt, or mud in my case, and walk on uneven tech ground. Or treat the curb like a balance beam. See a bench? Jump up on it. Walk across it and jump off. Start slow and easy so you don't hurt yourself. But move, make it fun, make it different. Part of this whole movement discussion can be seen in the standing versus sitting desk discussion. Sitting is bad, you need to stand. Well, I did a standing desk for several years, and I can tell you, standing can be bad. If you stand all day and do long walks in between, as breaks and at lunch and stuff, that's a lot of wear and tear on your feet, knees, hips, back, depending on your posture and everything. So it's not a simple discussion of sitting versus standing, because both of them have you being stationary. And both of those kind of like freeze your muscles into specific postures, poses. And that is what frequent movement helps you avoid. That is what keeps your body supple, strong, young. Seniors, and I have no idea anymore where that line of senior is. I qualify as a senior for the movies, but I sure don't feel like a senior. I take the discount anyway. My dad's a senior, and he's learning the hard way that by having been stationary too long, he has a hard time getting up out of a chair. When he sits on too low of a seat to like tie his shoe, he can't get up by himself. That's the problem with not moving enough and moving different muscles. Can you pick up a rock or a marble with your toes? Pencil maybe? That's a movement you could be practicing. That's not the only thing you should be doing though. The importance of frequent movement isn't just to perform circus acts. It's also to get your oxygen and the fuel for your body moving around so it feeds your muscles and your brain. Did you know your brain's mostly fat? So if somebody calls you a fathead, they're complimenting you. Good news to have. It's a good cocktail conversation, I think. And you move while you're having cocktails, Anyway, frequent movement keeps fluids moving to your joints so that they stay loose and pain-free. When you extend and contract your muscles. You have that push-pull. That keeps your muscles supple and strong. Working your muscles helps keep your organs in place, your joints moving smoothly, and your bones being strong for you. So movement keeps your body working properly. Sounds like a good idea to me. The one thing to be careful of is repetitive motion. Baseball pitchers generally pitch with the same hand over and over again. So, if they're right-handed, their left foot and leg get a certain movement, and their right arm and shoulder get a certain movement. It'd be very cool if a baseball pitcher could switch it around. You have switch hitters. Do you have switch pitchers? I don't know. But you build up muscles on one side and decrease muscles on another. The first autopsy I went to before I became deputy coroner, a woman had given her body to science, and so as we were cutting into this cadaver, I noticed that the muscles on one side of her chest were really big and firm and strong, and the other side was really shrunken down. Once we got down enough, we could see she had a bad scoliosis. There's an example of the push-pull that didn't happen properly for her. Love this kind of stuff. Sorry if it grosses you out, but that's the joy of being with Kit, right? I knew a woman who had heard, maybe when she was in her 50s, that if you sleep on your back, you should have a pillow underneath your knees to keep your back, I think it was to keep your back properly aligned. So she started sleeping that way. And the older she was a very active woman. She played tennis and she walked and she ran around, she gardened and did chores and all kinds of stuff. But as she got older, she gave up those things. So eventually, she would sit at the table and work puzzles all day long. And then she'd go to bed and sleep with her knees bent. Her permanent position became that of a sitting person. So when she stood in a sitting position. And she didn't have the muscle strength to straighten up. That's what you want to avoid. You don't want to freeze yourself into a certain pose or position. Get up there and move. Get out there and move. And have fun. Do it frequently. My friends and clients hear me say, take a break every hour. Work 15 minutes, be it, I don't care what you're doing, be it work, play, eating, sewing, painting, doing puzzles. After 50 minutes of that, get up and move. Walk around the block or the house, do some calisthenics, do something to get your body moving, the oxygen and the blood circulating, all of those things to keep your body healthy, strong, working properly. Now, Cindy asked me before this started, well, what about people who have movement impairments? She didn't specify what that meant. I don't know if they were paraplegic, quadriplegic, one leg was shorter than another, they didn't have an arm. I have a friend who was amputated I think it was just below the knee. And he does have a prosthetic, and that doesn't stop him. He takes his kids out hiking and walking. He stays active. So, without knowing more of Cindy's intention with her question, I have to say that if you can move yourself at all, you need to do it frequently. If you have the use of only your left hand, use it. Move it. Extend it. Contract it. Turn it over. Put it up. Do things. I see people exercising their hands by pulling the fingers back. And if I were doing it properly, I'd include my little finger. And then do the same with the thumb. Your feet are flexed so the sole is flat and the leg is straight up. So once in a while you want to stretch your foot so that you put the top of your foot on the floor and kind of stretch those muscles, because that is the contraction, extension that your foot can use to be stronger, better for you. As I get ready for the Camino, I try to do different kinds of things to get my foot and ankle muscles stronger so that they can flex with me as I walk over stones and rocks and hills and dales and rough terrain and grass. I don't know what I'll encounter, but I'm going to be ready. So what do I want to say here? Yes, get your steps in. Don't park at the front door of the store. Park at the far end of the parking lot. Get your steps in and swing in different ways. Just find all kinds of different ways. When you walk up and down stairs, don't always start with the same foot going up or down. Switch it up. Keep your body and your brain working, thinking, doing all kinds of movement together. Be intentional. Become more of the person you want to be. That's what this is all about. So move it! Move it, move it. There should be a song about that. Now, another pointer about moving more is that people with ADD, the partners of people with ADD, and people with ADD moments all have improved symptoms, which means decreased ADD personality and actions, when they do more movement and more exercise. If you tend toward depression, exercise helps that. Exercise lifts your joy. It's wonderful. I was feeling really bummed out one day, just kind of in a black mood, which doesn't happen to me very often. And I just went out walking, and Randy said, "Do you want me to come pick you up?" And I said, "No." "Where are you going to go?" "Don't know, but I'll be back." I think I walked for 3 or 4 hours. I probably put 10 miles on. I don't know. I don't remember now. But the black mood was gone when I came back, much to Randy's and the cat's pleasure. So now that I've talked a little bit about moving it and the fun and the frequency, it doesn't have to be intense. I personally am not a fan of CrossFit because I think that just sets you up for injury. But if you like it, do it. Be careful and don't do sudden moves. Don't stress your muscles, your heart especially, your blood vessels. Build up to whatever you do. So what does movement mean to you? When I say move it, what do you think? Let me know. I'm Kit Cassingham, founder of and Chief Energizing Officer at Live in Focused Energy, and I think I'm going to go on an ambulance call now. See you tomorrow.